Did you know that the supplement industry was estimated to be valued at over $177 billion in 2023? It's been reported that more than half of the adult population in the United States uses at least one dietary supplement on a regular basis. That number is staggering. And if you're anything like me, you're probably wondering, well, do supplements actually work, or are they just really marketing hype? Are they just a waste of time and your hard-earned money? Well, in this video, we're going to reveal the truth about using supplements as a runner, especially if you're over 50. We'll also share with you what the supplement companies aren't telling you, as well as the 4 supplements you should be taking. Because truthfully, there are some that are worth looking into. Before we get into what's hype and what is not, Lindsay, let's start here. Are there any supplements that you shouldn't be taking?
Shona, the reality here is that most of the supplements that you take are going to turn into expensive urine. So if your urine is going bright yellow when you are taking tablets and supplements, then the reality is that most of what you're taking is not being absorbed, and most of it is just being passed through your kidneys and into the toilet. There are also some supplements that you really shouldn't be taking unless you've had tests to show that you have got a deficiency, much like vitamin D and iron supplements.
All right, that's great, Linz. Now we know some of the supplements that we shouldn't be taking. What are some of the supplements that would be of value that we should be taking?
Shona, that's a great question. But before we get to that list, let's look at what these multi-billion-dollar supplement companies aren't telling us. And that is that you should be able to get most of what you need from eating food. It's also completely impractical to take large numbers of pills to get everything that they will have you believe that you need, and it makes it unsustainable. The reality is that as we get older, we do start to lose our appetite and our absorption starts to decrease. And this can be a problem, particularly in the active.
Linz, I'm glad you mentioned that because it's so true. But before we look at supplements that specifically females should be taking, there are 4 supplements that both male and female runners should consider taking, especially if they're over 50. Can you dive into those a little bit?
Yeah, so as our appetite decreases, it is possible that we start to develop some deficiencies. It is important that you do get tested so that you are only supplementing for the things that you do need. The first is calcium. The reality is that as our appetites decrease, we are going to develop some deficiencies. Calcium is important for the repair of bones, and a lack of calcium can lead to stress fractures and bone breaks. Postmenopausal women are more susceptible, and 1 in 2 females are likely to suffer from stress fractures, while 1 in 4 males will suffer from stress fractures. Next is vitamin D. Vitamin D plays a critical role in the absorption of calcium as well as the immune system. And with current trends of poor diets and lack of sun exposure, particularly in the northern hemisphere, vitamin D deficiencies are more common. As mentioned before, this is one of the vitamins that you need to be tested for, because if you supplement with vitamin D and you do not need it, then it can build up to toxic levels in the blood. Another important vitamin as we age is vitamin B12. This plays a crucial role in preventing anemia, which is a lack of red blood cells in the body. If you have a lack of red blood cells, the body can't transport enough oxygen down to the working muscles where you need it most, and that means that you are going to be fatigued and have an inability to perform at the level that you would like to perform at. Finally, we get to protein. Protein is really important because this is the building block that's used to repair the body when we do damage, particularly to the muscles during exercise. Again, as we are getting older and our appetites are decreasing, we don't necessarily get enough protein in our diet, and so this is one of the things we should consider supplementing with. A great example of a protein to use as a supplement is whey protein, because it contains leucine, which is really important in the repair of muscle. If you are a vegan or a vegetarian, then you need to be really careful about that supplementation. For example, 50 grams of whey protein is the equivalent to 25 grams of soy protein. So if you are a vegan or a vegetarian, make sure that you know what your needs are and that you get enough of what you need. Shona, now that we've covered the 4, are there any supplements that female runners and menopausal runners in particular should be taking?
Before we dive in what is beneficial for female menopausal runners, understand that some of these supplements are also very beneficial to male runners over the age of 50. The first of these is collagen. Lindsay, and the studies are inconclusive around whether collagen is beneficial all around. I've had some very anecdotal evidence from clients that report very positively with their use of collagen, in particular, decreasing joint pain. At the moment, there's a big trend with the word superfoods, things like ashwagandha and maca powder as an example. And for male and female athletes, this is much like collagen, where the studies are very inconclusive to the benefits that they give. And so this brings us back to what Lindsay was saying earlier around supplements in general, in that, is it really worthwhile? Because you're just taking more and more pills and powders, and what is the benefit that you're getting from that into your running? It's also key to note that you are 100% responsible for what you are taking and putting into your body. And so some supplements like maca powder have been or are on the WADA anti-doping list. And so please be careful with what you are taking over the counter and putting into your system. As Lindsay mentioned, protein is crucial, particularly for female and male runners over the age of 50. It's important to know that amino acids are the building blocks of this protein. If you're not getting enough of those amino acids in your diet, you're never going to recover properly and you're putting yourself at a massive risk of injury. Watch this video next for a really simple way to get them from one of the most least likely sources. It can literally transform your running in next to no time.